Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start our ceremony off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. I'd like to invite Mr. Kelly up to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. We wanted to thank Officer Beebe, Sergeant Welch, Chief Awanchu, Board of Education. We're more than happy to still have this program working with our students. The Too Good for Drugs program is a great extension of our social emotional learning that we do here at the school. For our fifth graders, it gives them an opportunity to continue their work talking about peer issues, social media issues, life choices, and it really helps the students build that connection between school and the police department as well. We've really tried to make it a community feel in our relations between the school district, the city of Middletown, and the Middletown Police Department, so it's really good when we can all come together for a positive program. At this point, I want to introduce Officer Beebe back up to the podium, so this way we can continue on and get the students their certificates. Thank you.
Again, good morning, everyone. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for today's ceremony and for recognizing the hard work of the kids that are going to be in front of us today. Instructing the Too Good for Drugs program this school year has been difficult. We have navigated through many obstacles together in order to get to every lesson. But the students being recognized today persevered, completed their work, and earned the recognition they are getting today. I also want to extend a special thank you to all the teachers and staff at Presidential Park Elementary for being flexible and accommodating. I could not have done it without you all. So throughout the Too Good for Drugs program, we learned many important life skills and strategies to deal with peer pressure, and obviously information about drugs and alcohol and how they can impact your life and future. In our first class, we worked our way through making short-term goals and making sure that they are personal, possible, and positive. Creating goals that meet this criteria will help students work hard toward reaching their personal goals. We then moved on to decision-making. Students were taught how to make good decisions by breaking down the positive and negative consequences of the decision and then picking the desired outcome. We then discussed how making bad decisions could keep us from reaching our goals. We discussed feelings and emotions then. We learned that if we let our emotions take over our actions, that we could make choices that we usually end up regretting. We learned that our body sends us signals which let us know that we are feeling a strong emotion. A very important life skill that many of us are losing, due largely in part to technology, is the ability to be an assertive communicator and an active listener. We learned that being an assertive communicator is not enough to ensure effective communication. We also need to actively listen, otherwise we are not getting the full message. We then spoke about how important perspective is when we are dealing with situations that arise. This lesson was very important because it helped the students to understand that everyone makes mistakes. It is not about the mistake that you've made, but rather how you handle that mistake and learn from it in order to move on. Dwelling on the past or past mistakes or putting yourself down will only make you feel defeated. So once we had those basic skills down, we learned how to deal with peer pressure. Students learned 9 different exit strategies that will help them either avoid or remove themselves from a peer pressure situation before it's too late and something bad happens. We then discussed the harmful effects of alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana use. Students were able to locate areas of the brain and understand how each of the drugs would not only affect their brain, but would also affect their ability to grow and be healthy adults. This part of the speech is for the students. Next year, as well as in the next several years, you will be faced with new risks and situations. At times, it may be overwhelming or a little bit scary. I hope that you can take our experiences that we had together and apply it in those situations. These skills and strategies that we worked on together will help you thrive and give you the ability to fight your way through the tough situations that you will face. Remember, sometimes making the right choice is hard, but it is always the best decision in the end. If you found you've made a bad choice, it is not the end. It is a learning situation. Learn from your mistakes, pick yourself up, and move on. As you did with me in class, always ask questions. This is the best way to learn about the world around you and to learn more about yourself. And as parents and educators, we need to continue to influence the young people sitting in front of us today. Remember, these kids are going to be facing a new experience next year in middle school. They're trying to find themselves and define who they are. Because of this, you may find that they try to push you away. Sometimes we may feel like they're not listening, but they truly are listening and watching how we handle our own situations. They learn by the examples that we set for them. So I just wanted to say I had a great time teaching all of you, and it is my absolute pleasure to be your instructor. And just because you will not see me every day when you're in school does not mean I'm not here for you. I want you to know that myself, as well as the officers at the Middletown Police Department, are here for you. And once again, congratulations. I would now like to call up Ms. Cowart and her class.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Cowart, and here's my class. Muna Ba, who is here. Francesca Carano. Elijah Kroom. Raquel Degante. Edgar Isidoro Leandro. Gustavo Jimenez Moreno. William Salazar. Jennifer Santiago. Rachel Serio. Dahlia Sierra. Inderjeet Singh. Gianna Torres. Thomas Weeks. Josiah Wilson. And Chase Manning. Great job, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Great job. I'm actually going to be calling back Ms. Cowart to announce Ms. Holloway's class.
Hello again, and I'll be here, Mrs. Cowart, calling for Mrs. Holloway's class. So Jaden Acevedo. Jose Contreras. Giovanna D. Felipes. Kenneth Guzman Aguilar. Aaliyah Harper. Brianna German. Giovanni Laforte. Tylee Robles. Adriana Schouten. Kimberly Tapia. Donovan Coleman. Andrea Vasquez. and Dave DeVries. Thank you, and another job well done.
Thanks. I'd like to call up Miss Allen and her class.
Anthony Ariza. Nixon Bellius. Andrea Canales. Brianna Candelaria. Alejandrina Carrero. Natalie Diaz. Olivia Figueroa. Ashley Gonzalez. Shariah Gual. Elijah Henderson. Frank Lozano Macas. Amira Monroe. Aaron Ramos Leon. Alondra Rendon. Alana Smith. Coran Tedder. Troy Valencia. Jayla Shishbon. And Janiyah Thomas. Thank you.
I'd now like to call up Mr. Regalado and his class.
Yes. Sure. Yep. All right, Jacob Glover. Sorry. Been a while.
Congrats, Jacob. Great job.
Emily Hernandez Contreras. Teresa Jimenez. Brooklyn Linarte. Sanjay McDonald. Oh, sorry. Brooklyn, here. Okay. Eric Mizarambe. Angel's not here, but Angel Montalvo Morillo. Ava Negron. Mason Pickering. Rajendra Ramnath. Gerardo Reyes Alvarez. Mia Reyes Batista. Jorleni Rodriguez. Madison Waters. Jose Whittington Jr. Landon Williams. Jeffrey Zapata Hernandez. And Owen Brisson, who is not with us. Congrats, guys. All right. Thank you.
I would now like to call up Miss White and her class.
Nathaniel Banton. Zoe Barrett. Zariah Black. John Diem. Nadia Flores Torrijano. Isaiah Johnston. Derek Leon. Braden Math. He's not here. Riley Mayfield. Henry Morales. Carol Munoz. Gianna Pagan. Reynalise Quinones Feliciano. Gabriel Roa Marin. Selena Rivera. Jackie Valeriano. And Ella Velez. I'm staying to announce Miss Weems' class.
Awesome. I forgot that she wasn't here. Oops. Perfect. Thanks.
All right, and from Miss Weems' class, we have Matthew Alvarenga. Cameron Jackson. Emily Gil Ramirez. Stephanie Harris. Livia Litos. Jimena Lopez Velazquez. Olivia Manhertz. Cameron Mills. Aliyah Mohammed. Howard Naismith Jr. Eliana Ramnarine. Jacqueline Rivera Cruz. And Cash Valentine. Do I take these?
Okay, that's okay. Thanks. You're welcome. Thank you. I'd like to call up Miss Apt and her class.
Good morning. Jasmine Bradford Ramirez. Stephanie De La Rosa. Corey DeCiso Jr. Sydney Fevrier. Nasai Hassel. Michael Joyce. Emmanuel Lopez. Sky Mansaray. Cameron Math. Colin Ocasio. Jesus Sierra. Melania Vasquez. Thank you.
I'd like to call up Miss Melendez's class and Miss Melendez.
You're welcome. Hey, good morning, everyone, and I want to thank all my Officer Beebe and all my graduates. I'm so proud of all of them. So first we have Dominic Bastitas. And then we have Christian Guerrero. A little loud. Marquise Hillman. Prescott Kendall. And Jaden King. Ariana Lee. Logan Ricano. And Michael Wilson. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to call up Ms. Seeger and her class.
Nelson Barrios Jr. Aris Bell. Kalisha Brown. Emily Cabral. Khalees Cassels. Heather Checo. Ava Curry. Max Diaz. Matthew Fulco. Alina Newsome. Jarissa Nunez. Mateo Okendo. Sophia Orth. Devin Phipps. Analia Ramos. Daniel Rando. Jaylene Rivera. Claire Smith. Kayla Stucco. And Morgan Susek Fidel. Congrats, 268. Thank you.
I would now like to call up Ms. Grant and her class.
Arwin Alvarez Diaz. Ilani Blanco. Christine Boonigan. Maurice Charles Burke. Annabelle Craig. Drayden Crooks. Carmen Furstand. Leanne Jansen. Wynette Kate. Aiden Lacey. Zoe Lawla. Victor Laguello. Ariel McPherson. Joseph Mercado. Alexa Ocasio. Rowdy Ramirez. AJ Ramcasone. Karen Rodriguez. Ishan Singh. Joelle Thomas. Alyssa Tolentino. Jocelyn Truex, Erison Valenzuela, and Donovan Williams. Congratulations, Class 270.
Thank you. Really feeling the love here, guys. Thank you. I'd like to call Miss Thornton up and her class.
Katie Aguilar Hernandez. Blanca Huitil Castillo. Aldo Campos. Cristal Casimiro Santos. Maritza Castillo. Dania Jerónimo Reyes. Edgar Luna Romualdo. Marcos Ordóñez. Said Santos. Jordi Siquilanda Zamora. Emily Tetuil Moran. Genesis Varela Carranza. Evelyn Becerril. Jalen Sánchez Saavedra. Anneli Rosa Bentances. Okay, two students who were absent from my classroom was Adrian Leon Romero, and also absent was Jose Rios Rivera. Thank you. You're welcome.
I'd like to call up Mrs. Valaro and her class.
Marley Hennessy. Layo Kunapai. Christopher Montano Tolentino. Caleb Randolph. Malachi Robinson. Alicia Shah.
Thank you. Last but certainly not least, I'd like to call up Miss Alarcon and her class. Thank you.
Aisling Álvarez Osorto, David Flores, Evelyn Gualán de la Rosa, Justin Gualán, Joyce Guarneros Velázquez, Darling Medina Minga, Jonathan Tiul Muku, Giovanni Traplanco Arriaga, Víctor Urbina Saravia, Inti Bacasela Macas, Débora Varela Carranza, Esteilin Vargas Mejía, Sebastián Japón Congo, Zairi Guamán Tene, Santiago Isaza Rabe, Mayari Saca Chalán, y Mili Alexandra Feliz Matos. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So I just wanted to say again, congratulations to all the students, and I want to thank the teachers for helping me read their names, and thank you for tuning in.